Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sing 24 TV, the nationalist show with Kennedy Bongo. We're going to have another interactive session with at Amos Jacob on the happenings of today. As you well know, today was the inauguration of our fifth president, Dr. William Ruto. So many things happened, politics played out, a lot of things happened, and that is going to form the basis of our interaction today. We are going to pose several questions to one another and try to seek answers to those questions, also to help you understand the nature of what to expect in the next 5 years. As is coming to the set, I request you to just subscribe, click that notification bell so that you are notified when we post these videos. Now, this is Jacob Amos. Jacob, you can introduce yourself and greet our viewers.
Yes, thank you very much, Kennedy, for welcoming me to your set.
Thank you.
As we want to at least make our viewers catch up with the happenings of today during the inauguration of the fifth president of the Republic. Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Jacob, you are one person I think who have been speaking about President Ruto. You did, when we spoke about politics in most of the times, yes, you had warned me actually that Ruto may actually become a president.
Yes.
And I think that really, now that he became president eventually, I'm a bit surprised. Do we still expect more surprises from this man?
Well,
do we still expect more surprises?
As I've advocated most of the times.
Yes.
Well, I may not have supported the man.
Yes.
But I've come to study this man. I know how he works sometimes.
Yes.
Most of the times.
Yes.
President Ruto is not that just an ordinary politician.
Yes.
This guy, as I said in a set earlier today.
Yes.
Learns once from his mistakes and once from other people's mistakes, never his own mistakes.
Yes.
So we expect a lot of surprises. Yes.
Do you mean to say, when you say he learns from other people's mistake, never his own mistake, do you mean to say that he rarely also makes mistakes?
He rarely makes mistakes, because
yes,
since 2013, most of the mistakes or things that we thought that he was going to do, like maybe turning against President Uhuru Kenyatta and whatnot, even in the run-up to 2022 elections, we thought that he was going to come to a point where he was going to abuse the president right out. He didn't do that, so we are in for a rude shock still.
And I think our viewers, this when Jacob is speaking about not doing what we expect or what we thought he could do, is probably referring to, when you look at how President Kibaki, yes, and Right Honorable Raila Odinga ran
the Grand
Coalition government.
Yes.
There was a bit of embarrassment,
friction here and there. I remember at one time Baba complaining about Nusu
Keka and all those things. But all these things, Ruto, braved all the
humiliation,
yes, and so that he painted himself as a victim in the eyes of...
As a victim, he managed to do it. That guy, if there's a politician, he looks like a strong man, but at the same time, he can switch his motions once and look at the as a victim. In fact, to the extent that even some of our supporters, the Azimio supporters, were sympathizing with him. They were saying that now it was enough, as in Uhuru had gone too far.
Indeed, even myself, I think at some point I said,
yeah, you told me,
in view of his office being the deputy president, there was a need to really not embarrass him, and also to ensure that he worked in terms of just executing duties from that office. But that's still, let me just in terms of, there are people again who are saying, yeah, that considering the fact that in 2013 his, yes, side of the government was full of Kalenjin,
predominantly Kalenjin.
Do you think we are going to, in terms of his appointment, is this going to be the case?
I don't think that is going to be the case, because if at all Kalenjins are going to eat or are going to be incorporated in government, they are going to be incorporated in the rank and file. That is the in-between, not at the top and not at the very least, but they are going to be here, where they are not noticed, but there are very many in that particular government. And in 2013, Ruto knew that he wanted money for 2022. In fact, to some extent, I'm persuaded that he was only corrupt. Well, we are not sure because none of them has ever been proven in court. But he was only corrupt because he was looking for money to campaign in 2022. So I'm quite optimistic about the future. I don't see him as going to be so corrupt, and I don't see corruption going to be that rampant in his government.
What I'm getting from you,
Yes.
if in case I'm wrong, please do just correct me. Are you telling me then that there is a lot of expectation from the general public that President Ruto's government would be the most corrupt compared to the others, considering that he's a man who's been painted as corrupt,
Yes.
and therefore may turn out to be actually the person who is going to fight this corruption once and for all,
think
so that he proves the people wrong?
Number one, this guy has come out as clinched the presidency with the strongest mandate so far. Why am I saying the strongest mandate? Maybe it's Uhuru formed government with about 54%, but Ruto with 50 point something. It was quite lower than
0.4, yes.
Yeah, 0.4.
Yes.
It was quite lower than Uhuru's.
Yes.
But I still insist that his mandate is stronger. Why is his mandate stronger? Because he managed to whip the Kikuyu Mount Kenya constituency to follow him and not Rigathi. Let's not do this mistake of thinking that Rigathi made Ruto or brought Ruto some votes. Ruto already had these votes. Now, these people just came on board. You remember Baba in 2007? Ruto just had to toe the line because the Kalenjin population were already supporting
exactly,
Baba.
Exactly.
So, in a quest of Ruto to become relevant, he had to join the train.
Okay. Now,
yes.
What about his speech? Did you really listen to the president speak today?
Well,
like in terms of his speech, was he reconciliatory? How did you find his speech encouraging?
The president was very reconciliatory.
Yes.
In fact, I would urge us still that so far, I think he did a good job compared with what Rigathi speech in during the inauguration. The president's speech was very. You remember him even calling Uhuru president my brother. You see, and even offering him a job there.
No, I think that was, and I think this I should actually explain a bit of this thing to our viewers, because
Yes.
there was a video we did, and we did indicate in that video that Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was going to be the de facto leader of opposition. But now what we are seeing the president doing is giving the former president work to keep him out of politics.
There's this story of the frog and the scorpion.
Yes.
Have you ever heard the story or how it goes?
No, I understand the story. Where the scorpion wanted to cross the river.
The scorpion wants to cross the river, and now he requests the frog to carry him on his back. The frog hesitates. He's asking himself, like, this guy will sting me. But then he convinces. His argument is that I can't sting you because
if I
that
sting
way
you,
we'll both sink. It will be to the detriment of both of us.
Yes.
So we will both sink.
Yes.
The frog buys that logic and carries the scorpion on his back. Halfway across the river, the scorpion actually stings the frog, you see. And then when they are thinking, the frog is asking him, why did you do that? The scorpion confesses that it is in my nature. He couldn't just resist that urge. By this, what I mean is, President Ruto can actually debunk this fable, this theory. I have a very strong feeling that he's going to try to prove his detractors wrong. So I don't see a situation where he's going to... Well, one thing that is going to come for sure is the onslaught against opposition. That is going to come. And it's going to come in very subtle ways, like offering the president a job. You see, the president didn't even congratulate this man. This guy has come out and is inaugurated now, is the president, and is offered the president who promised a very vigorous or a vibrant opposition against his government.
Yes.
Now, do you think of a situation where the slave is going to disobey his master? I don't see that coming. Uhuru is going to be very loyal to President Ruto.
We are seeing our viewers. I think Jacob is really now going so hard on the politics of the day, even describing now the outgoing president. No, now power is no longer on his side, and therefore makes him now somebody who is now appointed at the mercy of President.
Yes. You remember
Ruto.
how they decamp today I've never watched these things. I've always been in denial. Whenever in the past elections, the only inauguration that I'm watching for once is this one, because I just decided that I'm not going to miss this opportunity, at least for once. I just want to learn for a way to deal with these things. You see, some of our people are still in the trenches. They just don't know how to handle this. So if we are too hard on you sometimes, please don't worry. It's just that we want the best for you. But there's this question, Kennedy.
Yes.
Where some of the supporters of Ruto,
yes,
expected him to deal with dynasties. In fact, he was painting a picture of where every person is going to be same, communism or socialism kind of.
Yes.
What do you think?
Okay, I think one of the things we have to realize that in politics, there are things we say so that we can excite the crowd, the common man, or the plebs.
The
plebeians are generally foolish because there are someone who said, be wary of the masses or the fools because they might elect a president.
Yes.
But you see, now we are seeing a situation where they were convinced that this person is going to, give or deal with the dynasties, but his first act, actually that was his first act,
to restore
the
power of
and
the
in fact,
yes,
giving President Kenyatta the authority to act on behalf of the republic. To transact business, including, on behalf of the republic.
Yes.
Meaning, President Uhuru Kenyatta is basically now within the government.
He is within the government.
He's acting for the government.
No wonder we are wondering if he's going to mount the kind of opposition he was saying. I see a situation where...
The funny thing, let me just explain this.
Yes.
The funny thing about this is he said it that, and he has accepted, meaning...
He made sure
that President Uhuru Kenyatta had accepted that.
If you go back and watch that video,
yes,
you'll see him reiterating. You see, this guy is a master politician.
He
didn't want to cast that doubt on our minds that President Uhuru has actually accepted the offer.
Yes.
He made sure that he told us that my brother, quote unquote, that my brother, thank you for accepting my offer.
Yes, because he wanted the people of Kenya to know that he spoke with President Uhuru Kenyatta, I think, when they met.
Yes.
State House the other time when he was being taken for a 12 State House. And he wanted to make sure that the people of Kenya know the nature of that discussion. And I think for once, we now understand the nature of that discussion based on what he said. And as president, I think that was his first act. You could say, a lot of people could say appointing of the judges and all that, but his first act, which he did, was to appoint President Uhuru Kenyatta.
And the port services,
that is important because now that is for the masses.
For the masses.
But this other one is for politics.
Yes.
You get to ensure that the opposition that do not or is deprived of the energy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Because then how can you challenge a government that you're working for? So he's putting the president the former president in a box and taking that box far away from the country that you cannot actually open it so that the president can come out. So he'll be always outside the country dealing with regional issues rather than concentrating on opposing the government. Another thing which I noted about Ruto was the way he spoke about Right Honorable Raila Odinga. Again, a very reconciliatory message. Calling him my worthy opponent. And if you want to understand again how this guy is a master politician, extending that invitation to
Raila Odinga. What do you think, by the way, Kennedy, was Raila right to decline that offer? to attend the inauguration, or was he right?
I think it is a matter which is very delicate.
Yeah.
In this way. Emotions are involved to a very great extent. Emotions are involved, and if
Well,
you
as
are to
pertaining
answer
to Raila Odinga's constituency, that
as
is
pertaining to
the
Raila
Azimio
Odinga-
supporters.
Yes, and I think they would have felt probably betrayed if he
yeah.
did. But as a statesman, if it were as a statesman, considering that the Supreme Court had now, conferred or affirmed the
election of
President Ruto
yeah.
as valid, then personally I would have preferred if you would have attended, because then it would have given President Ruto an opportunity to reach out to him even more, so that they can start engaging one another on how to run this country going forward, because you cannot avoid dealing with
that reminds me of something, yes. Kennedy. I was telling some guys that Ruto could not miss if the roles were reversed and Ruto was Raila and Raila Ruto could not miss that opportunity for the world. That is the kind of a politician this guy is.
Yes.
He doesn't care about what the his constituency will think first.
Yes.
He think about the larger political endgame. And
yes.
if you would have attended the pundits, our political pundits are somehow, I don't know, I don't really understand where they stand.
They would be surprised because Ruto, as you say, I've also come to learn that he's a master of surprises. That everything that people do, he's learned to do them otherwise. You see, so personally, I think if it were Raila being inaugurated today, Ruto would have attended in his and that it would have been much easier for him, because then he would have come in his capacity as the deputy president. And that is why that office was very important for him.
Yes.
Even despite the humiliations, he could not, leave
He didn't want to do without it.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Jacob, let me just ask you, also try to pose this question. Did you see or did you hear the deputy president now, Rigathi Gachagua, speech, or what do you think about it?
Well, Rigathi Gachagua is yet to convince me that he can be, that is worth the position that he is in.
Yes.
Because for me, anytime he opens his mouth, I just hear coffee and tea. You see, for me, from where I come from, coffee and tea doesn't concern me as much, but as a Kenyan, maybe. But who is talking about fish, or who is talking about cotton, or who is talking about any other thing that is grown from my place?
Yes,
you see.
Yes.
So he's yet to convince me. He doesn't talk about any other part of the country. He only talks about Mount Kenya.
Okay.
We want him to come out of that box, that Mount Kenya box. You see.
So that he assumes the national leadership.
The national leadership. You see, a person that can appeal to people outside Mount Kenya. Outside Nyeri, actually. Yes. So that is my take.
I also think if you listened to his speech, he was quite vindictive.
Still telling the president to his face that the outgoing president, that they're inheriting a dilapidated government.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you see, to make it worse, we'd rather, because this was, if you're fighting them within our house, then that is understandable. But you see, now you're fighting this was in the presence of dignitaries,
yes.
And president.
It was not worth it. It was in bad taste. I would have rebuked him. In fact, if I was one of the people there, I would have snatched that guy the microphone. I'm telling you for sure.
Do you think that it is part of Ruto's strategy, so that the blame, if at all something goes wrong, then it is squared on Rigathi Gachagua? Because people would say, no, it is the deputy who is bad.
You see, in history, if you delve so much into history, you realize that most of those people, for example, Cesare Borgia, Roman Condottieri, you had to have someone to apportion blame to. So I didn't see it that way until you raised it. That it might just be Ruto's game. Rigathi doesn't know it, but Ruto knows. He may be using Rigathi without Rigathi knowing.
Because I fail to understand, our viewers, I fail to understand this issue, because we saw a deputy president attacking an outgoing president so viciously and with anger and vindictiveness that I cannot imagine. which is actually bad for the country.
That is, it's
and
so
then
bad for
when
the
the
country. It's
president
saddening.
now, when the fifth president, Dr. Ruto, took to the podium,
He adopts a reconciliatory tone.
A totally
Yes,
reconciliatory
his
tone.
speech was very,
His speech was very measured.
Yeah, very
his
measured.
Speech, he spoke of President Uhuru with glowing
tributes.
terms.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
In fact, pointing out how he's worked so tirelessly to ensure that the regional peace is maintained. And that actually formed the basis of appointing him to continue in those roles.
Yes.
So you wonder, is he using Rigathi to, attack Uhuru Kenyatta? Or is it also he wants, if any form of attack is to be to the Uhuru Kenyatta, then it should not come from him for fear of him losing the Kikuyu constituency?
Yes. That might just be the game. I didn't see it. His strategy, that guy sees, well, it might, let me tell you, back into history again. In the early Romans, if you were a statesman, or if you were general, or if you were a politician of any sort, there was that right-hand man of yours that was going to do the dirty jobs. Even if you went out and killed someone, blame would be apportioned to this other guy.
So Rigathi
is a pawn in a larger game. I have that feeling. That,
and the man himself, our viewers, does not understand that is actually a
he's
pawn
not getting it
in this game. So for us, we have looked at this thing and we believe that those are the politics of the day and how they went on. I want to thank my brother Amos for coming here and interacting with us. Jacob Amos,
well,
thank you very much.
Thank you very much for welcoming me to the nationalist show.
I'm looking forward to attending your show one of these days.
Yeah, I'll welcome you one of this time. My show is called Catch 24. We produce some very educative videos today. You just go back to our videos and comment, watch them, and share kindly. Thank you very much, Kennedy.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
So our viewers, that is what is going on for today. Today, we witnessed a president who adopted a totally reconciliatory message and a deputy president who has decided to go south from that message. What is the game? Jacob is telling me that it could be the larger scheme of things. President Ruto fears to lose his Kikuyu constituency. Then who best can he use to form a formidable attack of any or on any formidable Kikuyu leader such as President Kenyatta? None other than a Kikuyu himself, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. So he will be used to conduct all those things, which really, if you look at, will only benefit one and only one, President Ruto. Thank you very much, our viewers. We are looking forward to interacting with you another time.